Dear friends, today we are going for the second topic in the same chapter 1 in the preliminary. And it is very important, this particular video is very small, but there are one or two very important points which I request you to make a note of it. A reportable injury, all of you know, is an injury which causes enforced absence of more than 72 hours. That symbol is for greater than. What do you mean by enforced absence? मीन्स उसको रेस्ट लेना पड़ा, ऐसे एक इंजरी है. एनफोर्स्ड मीन्स ही वॉज रिक्वायर्ड टू टेक रेस्ट. देर इज नो अदर वे. ही कैनॉट वर्क. ही हैज बीन फोर्स्ड टू टेक रेस्ट under medical supervision because he cannot work because of the injury. That is known as the enforced absence. Although that person wants to come, let us say for example he should not come, अगर वो आना भी चाहता है, but he is forced not to come because of the pain or some other thing. So it is known as the enforced absence. Serious injury is not related with the time, but it is related with the severity of injury. Severity of injury is, maybe for example, let us say there is a small scratch on the finger or maybe a little cut. There, maybe it would have taken 4 days or 5 days for the person to recover. But he is all right, nothing has happened. Only there was some small cut here and they have got it bandaged. They advised him to take rest and he took rest for 5 days and came back on 6th day. It is not very severe. Okay, it is an injury. He didn't lose any finger. He didn't lose any phalange. Only he lost some blood and then you have given him some bandage and he took rest. It is a reportable injury. It is not a serious injury. Whereas serious injury is definition is totally different, which we are going to talk about it in some other occasion, like fracture of any phalange or injury or nail coming out, or maybe severe burns, or rather it can be permanent loss of sight, hearing. All this come under the category of serious injury. Here the highlighted portion form J indicates that you have to submit the returns of reportable injury in form J. What does it now in serious injury? Once you are reading about serious injury, one word is used, in all probabilities may involve. What does it mean by all probabilities? I will give you an example in both Hindi and English. समझ जाइए, आपसे कोई पूछे भाई आप इस बार फर्स्ट क्लास या सेकंड क्लास पास होने की क्या चांसेस है, probabilities क्या है. When they ask probabilities क्या है, you will say भैया मैं तो अभी नया नया कोई कुमार साहब लेक्चर दे रहे हो, सुनो, नोट्स भी भेज रहे हो, वो भी अच्छा है, प्लस कहीं माइनक्स और माइन वर्ल्ड इससे कोई सीडी भी लेके पढ़ रहा हूँ, हमारे बड़े साहब भी कुछ गाइडेंस दिए, इन ऑल प्रॉबिलिटीज आई विल पास. आप किसी साइड से देख लीजिए मैं पास हो जाऊंगा. दैट इज नोन एज ऑल प्रॉबिलिटीज. इट मीन्स देर आर लॉट ऑफ चांसेस. Probabilities means lot of chances. Probability theory of probabilities in statistics, which is chances. That is known as the chances. So, in all probabilities means in all chances. In serious injury may turn as a permanent loss. It says by all probabilities there may be a permanent disability or disorder of some limb, phalange, or permanent loss of any sight or hearing. There this word all probabilities is used. So please don't get confused between the word and other words. This DMMR means draft metallifer mine regulations number 8 and CMR 9 are dealing with the accidents. Now once we deal about section 23 which talks about accident, we will be talking more on section 23 and DMR 8 and 9. Here, I want to make one thing very clear to all of you who are listening. We are not going to deal anything on regulation. We are not going to talk on rules. Once we are explaining this section, if it is a technical thing, it will be there in the regulation. If it is some welfare matter, it will be in the rules. So, when we are talking each and every section of this particular mindset, we are going to deal there and then itself about what it says in regulation or what it says in circular or what it says in rules. However, MVTR we will be dealing it separately. So, you need not refer additionally any other book once you are listening this, because we are combining all three books in one place and giving you this lecture and notes and also questions. Whenever there are reference of any other regulation and rules, we will be mentioning it here in future. Now the slides are very less and you will be completing it quickly, but in future, once you take, let us say, section 23, you may have around 6 lessons on that, because lot of things have to be dealt in accidents, how to deal with accident, what the conferences say about accidents to contractual persons. Though again in the same manner, when you deal with manager, section 44, sorry, not section, regulation 44 in MMR previously, now we have to check up. You may be having 2 or 3 lessons on that. Once you deal with, let us say, fires, you will have around 8 to 10 topics on that. So please be ready with all that. That's why I was advising all of you to preserve them. Next definition is on week. Week matlab hafta. It is from Saturday midnight to 7. Why you should say Saturday? Because in some places it need not be from Saturday midnight. Matlab it is not from Sunday. I can give you an example. When I was working for Bailadilla 5 in NMDC, our weekly day of off for most of the people was on Wednesday. We almost forgot Sunday. Like what children say Sunday is holiday, we used to say Wednesday is holiday. The reason why they have shifted to Wednesday is, maybe long back, when it was Madhya Pradesh, no Chhattisgarh, the electrical supply was put off on Wednesdays for maintenance by the state government. That's why they declared the Wednesday as off. So, for our purpose, starting from Tuesday midnight, that is when Wednesday starts, up to Wednesday midnight is the holiday. Again from Wednesday midnight to some other day, you calculate 7 days, that is week. A person can change it on a request with directorate. What do you mean by above ground and below ground? If a person is working below ground, you know what is below ground? Underground working, a shaft or any other place. Apart from it, if there is a shaft that is in the process of sinking, that is also called as underground only. You cannot say, no sir, I am exposed to surface, I have dug only 3 meters. No, it is not a underground. No, it comes under underground. Please remember that. Why I am asking you to remember is, you may get some questions in my examination, especially on this particular issue. The next one is, when the workings extend below superjacent ground, this is important. What do you mean by superjacent ground? Let us say you are working in an open cast mine. Some small open cast working, maybe 3 meters, 4 meters, jo bhi hai. There, in the side of it, there is a small hill. If you can encroach into the hill a little, it becomes underground. Not that you will dig a shaft or make an incline, all that, no. By some chance due to your working, if you can extend below superjacent ground, it is also called as working ground, that is underground. All other places are open cast workings. Friends, this slide and the next slide are very, very important to remember. First of all, you please remember these figures 7, 8, 9, 40, 45 and 46. What are these? These are the sections. I will explain you what are the sections first and then tell you what are the exemptions. Whenever in a mine some danger is there or not there, whatever it is, every inspectorate of director of general of mine safety, they have got powers to enter. You cannot say don't come. They can come, they can enter, take any measurement, collect any register, take any inspection, do anything. That is, they have been given powers by section 7. Now section 8, you see, we are not talking about section 7 and 8 in detail. Once we come there, we are still in some other section, some 3 or 4, 2 or 3. So this is definitions. We are talking about definitions even now. When we talk about section 7, 8 and 9, we will talk in more detail. Section 8 is the powers of special officer to enter and measure. Means sometimes you may have to measure the volume of material what they have removed, or you may have to measure the depth of the area through the surveyors. That time the powers of officers are given by section 8. Means the mine owner cannot say no, don't come. He can show section 8. As per section 8 he can enter. Section 9 is the facilities what mine owner has to give. So section 7 is about inspectors, powers of inspectors to enter any mine. Section 8 is on special officers. Section 9 is the facilities. Okay. Now what is 40, 45, 46? 40 is about not appointing any person below 18 years of age. Law ये कहता है, if anybody is below 18 years of age, he should not be appointed in the mine. Okay. What is the relation between this and this exemption? I will tell you. What is section 45? It is prohibition of certain persons in the employment. Then what is section 46? It is prohibition of employment of women. Now come back to our original slide. This 7, 8, 9, section 40, 45, 46. These sections, all these 6 sections are 100% applicable to all the mines, and some mines may get exemption from the Mines Act, but no mine will get any exemption from this 6 sections. Please remember, no mine will get exemption from these 6 sections, and all other sections they will get exemption under certain conditions. What are the conditions under which the exemption is given? Okay, again I am repeating. Remember, the 7, 8, 9, 40, 45, 46 are 6 sections which are exempted, which are not at all exempted for any mine, but other sections are exempted for some mines. What are the other mines for which the other sections are exempted? Minor minerals like China clay, glass sand. Glass sand matlab you have a lot of glass sand in Gujarat and Nellore. They make this moldings for engines. Kaolin. Then China clay is also used as for plaster of Paris, I think, and Bon China, all that cups they make. Except that, matlab these are coming under mines again. For all this China clay, glass sand, kaolin, for all these mines, entire Mines Act is applicable. क्यों वो स्पेशली चाइना क्ले एंड ग्लास एंड सैंड के बारे में कहा? इन माइनर मिनरल्स आल्सो दिस थिंग्स आर मेंशन्ड. Now, please don't get confused between this and the next. This says for all minor minerals, the exemption is there except for China clay, glass sand and kaolin. And वो भी क्या condition में? The mine should not extend below 6 meters and less than 50 people should work. 50 से ज़्यादा हो गया, if it is more than 50, again all sections are applicable. If it is more than 6 meters, whether it is boulder, shingle, gravel, जो भी minor mineral है, all sections are applicable. But if these mines can maintain up to 6 meters or less than 50 people, then blasting also is not done. Then you are exempted from Mines Act. But 7, 8, 9, 40, 45, 46 are applicable. It means even if you are exempted from Mines Act, any inspector can come and measure. Any special officer can come. You have to provide them facilities. You cannot appoint people below 18 years. You cannot appoint women. All these things are applicable. So, I hope it is clear. For exploration works also, the exemption is given from Mines Act. Again, except 7, 8, 9, 40, 45, 46. Please remember this. These 6 are applicable even for exploration. Who knows? That man may go beyond the extended depth. He may employ more people. Who will find it out? So our inspector will find it out. Here in the slide for exploration, for non-coal it is should not be more than 6 meters bench height. For coal it should not be more than 15 meters and less than 20 people should work. So, hope it is very clear. If you have any doubt about 7, 8, 9, 40, 45, 46, please post either in WhatsApp or in Facebook. I will reply you, and thank you. Hope you have understood this lesson. Jai Hind.